Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Well, today I just want to sit down and talk a little bit about what my plan is over the next few months with GPU mining profits being kind of so much in the dump. What is the plan for this channel? What is some advice I can give you guys during this time? And honestly, some advice that I probably need to hear myself. We're also going to discuss why GPU mining is still kind of my favorite source of crypto passive income. Obviously not right now, but in general. And we're going to discuss profitability versus kind of spec mining yield, what the difference between those two strategies is, and my thoughts on them, which is a bit controversial compared to some other YouTubers. So let's get into it after a quick word from our sponsor. Hey guys, quick interruption to talk about today's sponsor, Via BTC. If you're mining Bitcoin or Litecoin, you're not going to want to miss this. Via BTC offers a few different ways to boost your mining rewards compared to other pools. First off, Via BTC offers merged mining. This allows you to mine multiple cryptos at the same time. For example, when mining Litecoin, you will automatically be mining Dogecoin, Bells, Pepe, Junkcoin, and Lucky Coin at the same time. Merged mining is also available on Bitcoin. The second way to earn extra income with Via BTC is pool referrals. Refer anyone and you can get 10 to 20% of their mining fees. Via BTC also has an insanely competitive 2-hour payout schedule. So if you aren't already, definitely check out Via BTC and see if you can increase your mining rewards today. I'll leave a link down below and let's get back to the video. So the somewhat good news is I woke up this morning and a couple of our GPU mineable coins, or at least mineable coins in general, are green. Zealous leading the charge here at 17% on the day, which is well needed. Now that Aleo is taken over by ASICs, Zealous is basically our main hope. The Quay did just come out and we've got about 10 more days until it's released on an exchange. Now, if Quay, when it's released, is worth a lot of money, then that's going to be good for GPU mining. It's going to bring back a decent amount of the profits. Right now, people are mining it, but we really don't have an idea of what it's going to be worth and how much daily emissions it's going to provide to GPU miners. So that should be interesting. We do know that Zealous at least is a kind of gem that we need to try to protect and keep it from dropping too far, or definitely there's going to be a much lower chance for profits to come back. So along with Zealous, we also have coins like Alephium is up 16%, Aleo is up 15%, ETH POW, which is what I'm mining on my Jazz miner, is up 8%. Don't get me wrong, they're still well down to their 30-day price, but 16% little pumps, that's at least a decent sign that maybe these things aren't dead and maybe we still see this awesome altcoin season in 2025. Now, I do have a video coming out sometime soon. I'm going to be switching my Jazz miner over to a different coin. My plan has always been to mine 3 months on ETH POW, then mine 3 months on either Octospace or Zephyr. I need to actually do some research, and that's what we're going to do in that video. So I am excited to switch that to a different coin. All right, so now let's get into kind of the meat of it. Why is GPU mining still my favorite kind of source of crypto mining? And that's because, unlike ASICs, you always have resale value with GPUs. And I'm specifically talking about gamer-grade GPUs, not like CMP cards, which what I'm about to say is honestly the reason that I don't like CMP cards that much. But with like 3070s and 3060 Ti's, there's always going to at least be some resale value. So even though my entire farm is turned off right now, it's probably about $8,000 to $10,000 of GPUs, and then I have a couple $1,000s into ASICs. But so all that money I invest in GPUs is just sitting there, it's not mining. Well, the good news is that GPUs have not really crashed in price because there's a whole market of gamers that keeps that price pretty stable. It's not only mining profitability that determines the price of GPUs. So if you got a good deal on your GPUs when you bought them, and I always say that's like the most important thing, then you really haven't lost that much money. You can always sell your GPUs if mining profits don't come back in the next like 6 months. But back to what I was saying about getting the best price on your GPUs is the most important factor. That's literally why I built this website, gpudeals.net, is that I want you guys to be able to always find the cheapest GPU deal when you're looking to buy GPUs, or even to just calculate what your mining farm may be worth. So right now I only have the Amazon price in here. We're getting close to getting the eBay price in here, which is going to be big because Amazon is actually better than I thought on used GPU deals. Until I made the site, I never really looked into it. But eBay is going to be where this site is really going to shine because it's going to filter out all of those junk listings that say read description to find, and then you figure out the GPU doesn't work. It's going to filter out all the people with 0 reviews who are not really trustworthy to buy from, regardless of how good the deal is. This is only going to pick trustworthy eBay listings based on kind of my methodology on buying cards off of eBay. And so this should give you just a super quick glance of, all right, if I want to buy a used 3070 today, what price can I get? And right now you would see that's $320 on Amazon, which is a little pricey. eBay is going to have some of these a little cheaper, and that's why I'm excited to get eBay on here. But regardless, that's why this site is so awesome. It takes you straight to the site, and on this case, it is a blower card. So right now would probably be not a good time to get 3070s off of Amazon. But I constantly check this. I'm checking it every single day because this stuff updates pretty quickly. So the other day, I normally go by these value indicators. There was a 3080 up here for, I want to say $300 off of Amazon, and someone bought 2 of them. So these good deals are popping up here frequently. You just need to be checking. So check it out, guys, gpudeals.net. I do get commissions when people buy off this site, but I really did just want like a very good tool for GPU miners to be able to always find the best deal on their cards, because that's where you make the money, is buying cards at the correct price so that you can always sell them for what you got them for. All right, so let's talk about the controversial subject of yield versus profit mining. So I know that I talk about GPU mining profitability more than basically anybody else. A lot of people, they don't even look at the profits because in their mind, if you're not selling today, then what does the profitability matter? But at this point, when I'm running this kind of as a business, I've got enough GPUs now where it's kind of surpassed the hobby and went into kind of the business side of it. Now, it is still a hobby. I do still enjoy it, but when you get to a certain point, it's harder to justify it still as a hobby. So at this point, I would consider mine a business. And so I got to be thinking about the profitability of the business. And that's where spec mining or mining for yield really does not make financial sense to me, with a couple caveats, and I'll explain them here. So the general thought behind my mindset is, if you want to spec mine, let's say Ergo, and your GPUs are losing 10 cents a day. So let's just say you have 100 GPUs, so you're losing $10 a day spec mining Ergo. Where if you're using my strategy, you should be mining the most profitable coin. And I'm not saying switch to the most profitable coin every single day, but if one is pretty significantly higher than the others, you should be mining that. And in this case, that would be Zealous. Now, this isn't a great example because it's only 4 cents less than Ergo, but let's just say that Zealous was breaking even. So on a farm with 100 GPUs, and we're breaking even on Zealous, that means we're losing $10 on Ergo, but we're breaking even on Zealous. If you're really trying to accumulate or spec mine Ergo, you're way, way better off just mining Zealous and getting $10 extra of yield every single day by manually switching into Ergo. Now, the only 2 situations where that doesn't really apply is if Ergo is not on any exchanges, or it's on exchanges that have high fees. Then basically it may make more sense just to mine Ergo directly, because the fees are going to eat up any sort of extra yield you would have gotten from switching from Zealous to Ergo. And the other situation being that you're just lazy, or you're super busy and do not have time to get on TradeOgre every single day and manually swap these coins. So I do see the benefit of spec mining in situations like that, where you do not want to be manually doing the transactions, or you're scared that fees from exchanges are going to eat up all your profits. In that case, yeah, spec mining is totally fine. But the other side of that is that I still do not really even believe in mining at a loss. Now, mining at a couple cent loss, that's fine. But with my farm being at like $3 to $5 loss per day right now, I don't believe in leaving that running, assuming I don't need the heat from it, because you're losing $5 a day, where if you had it turned off, you're not losing that $5 a day. And if you still want to accumulate crypto, you can just buy the crypto and not have to be paying more power than what you're getting in the coins. Now, that obviously comes with a couple caveats as well. If buying the crypto is going to accumulate exchange fees and deposit fees, then in that situation, you're probably better off mining at a loss. And that's where like that loss needs to be a few dollars before you kind of make the sense to turn off and start buying the coins. And the other thing being, again, you are too lazy and don't want to be buying crypto every single day, then mining at a slight loss may make some financial sense at that point as well. And the other big thing would be heat. If you need the heat during the winter and you're mining at a loss, who cares? Because you're going to be spending money running your heater if you're not mining. So that's the only reason I have mine off right now, is because it's been pretty hot outside and I haven't needed it to keep my house warm. But if it was like 5 degrees outside and my house was freezing, I would have all those rigs on, maybe a couple of them on ProgPow, mining Quay, just getting that heat cycling through the house. But that's just a couple things that I think my mindset is kind of different from the rest of the crypto mining community, is I don't really like spec mining that much. I would always rather be sticking to the most profitable coin and making those manual transactions to squeeze out every dollar I can. Because you guys might look at it as, oh man, you're only doing all that work, you're only making an extra $1 a day. But the whole point of this mining stuff is that we're hoping these coins price appreciate like crazy. So a 50x on these coins that you're spec mining because you want the big profit potential from them, well, $1 a day doing this manual method is $50 a day if the coin 50x's, which that's a huge number, but just as an example. So it may seem like you're saving cents on the day mining the most profitable coin and switching it, but if you end up seeing the price appreciation that you're hoping for, then those cents are going to become a much greater dollar amount, especially over like a month or 2 month time period. So something to keep in mind. So what is my plan going forward? Well, I already said that once it gets cold again, I'm going to turn my rigs on, but I'm mainly thinking to once spring starts coming along and it's no longer cold outside, what is my plan for the farm? And if GPU mining is still not profitable at 11 cents, then those rigs are going to stay off for a while. So I do have, we'll pull up my farm here real quick. I do have a couple Hynix cards, which I'm certainly not opposed to selling. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to keep the vast majority of my GPUs, but I'm not opposed to selling some of my lesser efficient cards or maybe my not great model of cards. And I know my test rig here, I don't know why this test rig is only showing a 3080, but this rig has 2 Hynix 3060 Ti, so maybe I list those locally for $250 in cash. And that's higher than I could get on eBay for them, and just let them sit for a few months, and if they sell, they sell. If not, hopefully GPU mining profits come back. But in general, I'm not selling my equipment. I'm just going to sit and wait, because all the time on this channel we've been waiting for 2025 altcoin season. I still think it's going to happen, but it's just starting off a lot rougher than we all expected. And we'll get into that a little later, why I think it's kind of started off so rough. So what are my main plans next? I have that Warthog rig with a 3080 and a 5900X, and I'm going to be turning that into probably a Salad or a Vast AI rig, mainly just to test that out for you guys. Is it profitable? Is it a profitable alternative to GPU mining right now? If you have good CPUs and good GPUs, can you turn them on to Salad and make a decent profit? That's what I'm going to find out for you guys. Additionally, I may start looking into more of like some DPIN stuff. I've generally kind of not gotten into that very much. I've got like the WABA plugs, but that's really the gist of it. I may start looking into that a little bit more and seeing if there's any decent opportunities to keep making passive income through those, because as you guys know, the goal of this channel is just making passive income with crypto. Now, it mainly is on the mining side of that, but if there's some other crazy opportunities, then I'm going to check those out, obviously. Like the AI trading bots from Pinex have been absolutely killing it. So that's something that if I didn't make this channel, I honestly would have never figured out about. So that's been pretty nice. Okay, so let's quickly discuss why I think altcoin season is not happening yet, and kind of why crypto mining is down so bad starting off in 2025. And it's pretty unfortunate because if we look at these charts here, the bigger assets, they did see that huge drop off with some bad news, but they almost all pumped back. So for example, the biggest thing I think was the tariff news, which all this tariff stuff has been postponed now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Trump announced tariffs on Canada and Mexico and China, and the Canada and Mexico ones are paused at this point. But before that news of them being paused came out, it seriously bled the market. Like Ethereum was down 30%, I think. Caspa was down to like 6 cents. Now, a lot of this stuff bounced back, but let me show you what I'm talking about where the mining assets did not bounce back. So that's where these smaller assets are really getting hurt by bad news like this, and they're not bouncing back like the other bigger assets are. So for example, Bitcoin on February 2nd is when this tariff news came out, and I mean, you can see this extremely sharp little dip here. But guess what? The next day, once news came out that the tariffs weren't happening for at least 30 days, then boom, we're right back up to where we were. Now we have seen a gradual decline since then, but look at that bounce back. It bounced back basically immediately. Now Ethereum, a little bit smaller than Bitcoin. Ethereum's been performing honestly horrible lately, and it sucks that it's my biggest holding from everything I mined from 2021 or 2020. But you can see here, had that big dip on February 2nd and then didn't bounce back near as much as Bitcoin did, and it's just been holding that lower range ever since. And if we look at like the QQQ, an even bigger kind of fund than Bitcoin, you can see that on February 2nd here, we tanked and then boom, right back. It's like it almost never even happened in the stock market. So that kind of bad news, back and forth, the kind of crazy Trump stuff, which don't get me wrong, that what he's doing with the tariffs might make sense eventually once it all comes to fruition, but it's definitely hurting these smaller assets that we're trying to mine. So stuff like the QQQ and even Bitcoin to some point can bounce back from the back and forth, no issue. But smaller assets like Ethereum, and especially the stuff that we're mining, they have a hard time bouncing back from that because there still is that uncertainty in the air, and people are not going to be putting money into speculative assets when there's that amount of uncertainty in the air. Now things like QQQ and Bitcoin are a little less speculative, and that's why people are a little more okay with putting their money in when there's a little bit of uncertainty in the air. So that's my thoughts. Let me know down below, guys. Do you agree? So that's about it, guys. I'll have a video up here on what I think are the main tools that all GPU miners need. It's a throwback, but it's a good video. And I'll also leave a link to gpudeals.net right here. Bookmark it. I would very much appreciate it. And hopefully it's a good tool for you guys as well. Thanks for watching.